Hello, good evening. This is U.S. Immigration Attorney Sharifa Tharpe. I'm here live to take your U.S. immigration related questions. Go ahead and put your questions in the comments so that I may answer your questions. So I have a great topic for you today, and it is going to be a general topic. How do you get your work permit in the United States? So I often get the question, I'm here. Hi there, Sean. I'm here on a B1, B2, or I'm here on a student visa. How do I get a work permit? Now, there are different ways to qualify for a work permit. But number one, if you're here on a B1, B2, that's a visitor's visa and it does not allow you to work. So you cannot jump from a B1, B2 to getting a work permit. Work permits it's a type of immigration benefit that's granted when you qualify for other immigration benefits. So, for example, if you qualify to apply for a green card while staying in the United States, then you through adjustment of status, then it is in a case like that you could get your work permit. But you cannot just be here and say you want a work permit and independently apply for a work permit. You also cannot be outside of the United States and obtain a work permit. If you're outside of the United States, you're going to apply for an employment-based visa or green card, but you will not be able to get the work permit. Now, I'm going to list generally ways that you're able to get the work permit. So through adjustment of status, if you qualify through an employer, if you qualify through a family member, or through other ways, like if you have the T or the U visa and you're now applying for adjustment of status, then it could qualify you for a work permit at the same time. Also, after a certain time, you're applying for asylum, you could also get the work permit while you wait. When it comes on to the T visa or status, you'll get the work permit after it's approved. Then if you're applying for adjustment of status, you get the work permit during the adjustment of status process. If you don't qualify for these, then it is unlikely that you'll be able to get your work permit. Now, I just mentioned earlier about student visas. Now, under certain circumstances, after a time of being in school, you could get a work permit that has conditions on it, of course. And then about a year after, if you do have OPT time left, you would get a year to work in the United States on that work permit. Let me remind you that I'm also here to answer your immigration questions. So put those questions in the comments. So if you're going to the green card interview and you guys don't have any bills under both names, would that be a problem? So SASAG, it may raise questions. Now, it doesn't mean that it's going to cause you to be completely denied. Doesn't even mean that it may be a problem. But you definitely have to explain how is it that you're married and you don't share bills, or what is your arrangement, but what's the arrangement between the both of you to pay your bills or to allocate your financial resources. Bills, having your name, both of your names on a bill is not necessarily the thing that's going to break or make your application, but it depends on all the evidence you submit. For example, if you submit a marriage certificate along with your application and nothing else, that's going to be a problem. I am seeing a pattern where people submit their applications on their own, and that's exactly what happens is they end up in a bigger problem than it really should be because they didn't submit proper applications. So it's going to come down to what kinds of evidence do you have to prove that your marriage is bona fide, and bills is not going to be the only thing that they're going to want to see. If I migrated from Jamaica to Canada and become a citizen of Canada, can I apply for citizenship in America? No. So you wouldn't be, just because you're a Canadian citizen doesn't mean that you can automatically apply to become an American citizen. You still have to go through the process of getting permanent residence, and then after a while of having permanent residence, you'll be able to apply for American citizenship. Now, Canadian citizens do have the benefit of coming to the United States for a couple of months without the need for a visa, and that may apply to you just depending on your background. But most Canadians can do that as long as they don't have any inadmissibilities. All right, keep putting those questions in the comments because I'm here to answer your immigration related questions. Today, I'm talking about how to get a work permit in the United States, and I'm clarifying one thing. So the work permit is not something that you can just come here and apply for just because you want it. It usually is associated with a benefit or a relief that's available to you, and you'll have to determine whether you qualify for that. So do you qualify for adjustment of status? That's a process of applying for permanent residence while you're in the United States. If you do, then that is a way to get a work permit while you wait for your process to be completed. Also, do you qualify for VAWA? Do you qualify for the T or U visa? Do you qualify for employment-based adjustment of status? These can also allow you to get the work permit. And I'll tell you another, this is not the usual case, but this is some good news that I had lately. There are ways to get your work permit in the case that you've been granted deferred action. So for example, I had three cases where my clients were facing medical emergencies. They had to be here for treatment and their status ran out. In this case, we applied for a medical deferred action, and now they can get the work permit while they're here getting the medical treatment. So that is one of those non-traditional ways, and there is no form for this, but this is a form of relief that I applied for my clients individually. So there are those out of the ordinary forms of relief, but usually, once again, you still do have to meet very specific criteria to be able to get this form of relief. So the point that I'm making here on this live is that you would not be able to, by virtue of just wanting the work permit, be able to apply for it. But what you can do is you can determine whether, based on your particular circumstances, you qualify for a form of relief for an immigration benefit that would allow you to obtain status and a work permit while you're in the United States. If you have, I'm going to list out some ways that you may qualify. If you have a U.S. citizen or legal permanent resident spouse or a parent, then if you have a parent, you're under 21. If you're the parent of a U.S. citizen, that U.S. citizen has to be 21 and up. That is one way, and what that means is that you're the immediate relative of a U.S. citizen. So if you have a U.S. citizen, in this case, in order to qualify for adjustment of status, even if you're out of status, you have to have a U.S. citizen, spouse, a parent, if you're under 21, or a U.S. citizen son or daughter who's 21 and up. That is one category that does allow you to still proceed with permanent residence application through adjustment of status and getting a work permit despite the overstay. Also, if you are not maintaining a good relationship with these relatives because they're mistreating you, there is what's called VAWA. And VAWA allows men, it allows women to apply for relief on their own without the relative who's mistreating them. And in addition to that, they overlook the unlawful presence in some circumstances. So that is another way that you could possibly qualify. So if you have these relatives, you're in this situation, you can go ahead, call, schedule a consultation, go to the link in the profile. It's going to take you to the website where you can schedule your appointment. Thanks for sharing the live, Lisa. It's nice to see you. All right, so that's going to be it for me. I'm going to be back tomorrow at around 4 p.m. Eastern time to come with another topic and also to take your questions. What I do want to let you know is that I'm here from Monday to Friday, 4 p.m. Eastern time. And around 4 p.m. Eastern time, I come with a good topic. You come with your questions. Your questions can be anything that's immigration related. It does not have to be, it doesn't have to be related to the particular topic that I'm talking about. So I'm looking forward to seeing you tomorrow, which is the last day of the week, to be able to ask your questions before Monday. So I hope to see you soon. If I don't see you soon tomorrow, I'll see you in a consultation. But let me give you this piece of information. I'm not completely finished. I'm actually heading on over to Instagram to continue the live there. I'll continue to talk about work permits, ways to get your work permit on Instagram. So join me on there in a minute if you want to continue to ask questions. If not, I'll see you tomorrow, or I'll speak with you in a consultation. Have a good one. Bye-bye.